It's now live.
Yeah, the meeting is now live. There we go. Hi, everybody. How you going? This is my first time of doing this. I would like to welcome you all in and say hi. I have got the all amazing Anna Lee coming and join us. Morning, Anna. Well, morning for me in Perth, but it's afternoon for you in Melbourne, isn't it?
Yes, good morning to people in Perth and good afternoon to people in Melbourne and Sydney. It's Anna here. How are we going?
Yeah, it's nice to see you. Thanks so much for coming in and joining us, Anna. I am really excited about what we're going to cover today. I'll just get my notes. So you don't need much of an introduction. I think we've done a pretty good job, but I'm going to do it anyway because Anna Lee is one phenomenally resilient woman. Anna, like she'll go into her story a little bit. So you all know that Anna is a co-author of our book, Empowered Women Empowering the World, which is just going on pre-sale on the 1st of when, Anna? The 1st of
July.
Yeah, 1st of July. Yep, good girl, thanks. Anna Lee has got a phenomenal story to tell. She is, like I said, one incredibly resilient woman. She came to Australia at the tender age of 16 on her own because she knew that Vietnam and her life in Vietnam was not where she wanted to be at 16 years of age. If I look back now to when I was 16, I did not have a clue where I wanted to be or where I didn't want to be. And I knew that I would not have had the confidence to come all the way from Vietnam to live in Australia without any family and to finish my high school. Anna Lee has since prospered since she's been in Australia. Anna is now, she's gone from a young girl over here without any family. She is now living in Melbourne, running 3 successful companies. Prosper Global Advisory, which is, because of all her experience in business, it helps Vietnamese people with business, investment and migration. She also runs her personal brand that is smashing it right now, Anna Lee International. She's a personal mindset coach and she's available for speaking. So you just look her up if you are looking for somebody that, a little pocket rocket and a powerhouse like this. I've had the pleasure to know Anna for just over 12 months now, and this lady never stops astounding me. And then lead facilities management, which is your sort of day-to-day job or more so, but she manages medium to large residential buildings within the Melbourne area. And like on top of that, Anna has got her 2 younger sisters living with her, 13 and 22. She's supporting them, one of them doing her master's degree at a university in Melbourne and the other one at school. And she's only the tender age of 13. Like this lady, like the sky is the limit. How far have you come just in the last, well, from 16 to 27, 11 years? And what are you going to do in the next 11 years? Like it astounds me. So I've already welcomed you, but welcome, thanks so much for coming in. Anna, I have read your chapter on your story and well, everything starts with your story. So if you'd like to start there, if that's where you'd like to start, like 2 main things that came out of me when I read your chapter, because it was so empowering, was resilience, and you are one resilient woman. And then the second one was your model of happiness, how you've changed the model of happiness and how that has completely changed your mindset. And that's how you help those that you coach with mindset coaching. So start off with resilience because your story is amazing.
Oh, thank you. First of all, I just want to say that I'm really honored to be here and interviewed by you, wonderful, successful entrepreneur and Australian representative and world champion. So I'm really happy to be here. Talking about resilient, to be honest with you, until I share my story to people and with you, my wonderful co-authors, I did not know that is something called resilience. To be very frank, when I was 16, I was in Vietnam, and for many, many years, I think I was just one ordinary student, just like any other, got bullied at school. And when I say I was bullied at school, people just say like, oh yeah, you know, kids going to school and kids get bullied. But for me, it was a very, very deep imprinted events that happened in my life for a long time when I was growing up. And that's created something inside of me, a burning question, is that, is there something more out there in the world that I can experience, a different environment, so that I can be myself, I can excel, and I can have the freedom to express my thoughts, my ideas, being who I am. And to be honest, I am always thinks that I'm a little bit different compared to my peers around me. And I wonder if that is something that affected the way I was treated back then. And now, many years looking back, I really thank that I got bullied. It sounds almost funny, but I was really thank that I got bullied so extensively that is created inside of me the burning desire to go on a search, go on for a adventure, almost to see what's out there for me in the world, that I can, just give it a try, just see what I can find, what I can do, what I can achieve, and where the loving people that want you to succeed. Because I grow up from 0 to 6. I would have to say my life was a fairy tale story, and that's why I'm wearing pink today. See,
Yeah.
It's I always love happy ending movies and all of that. And to me, life is wonderful and kind and loving. And when I was growing up, from 7 till about 16, it was different for me. So I was long searching for that experience. I was believing in that there's existing, and finally I came to Australia, and that's where I really found that's where I belong. So I'll call Australia as my second home. And now I'm proudly call myself an Australian citizen, or an Aussie. I am more an Aussie than a Vietnamese, some people will say. So I think the lesson here is around, you never really know what you can find unless you try, unless you give yourself permission to explore. And I was thinking, I did not know what's out there. In life, people love the certainty, love knowing what's coming up next, but that is unfortunately is to limit ourselves to our fullest potential, and to lead us to wonderful roads down the track. So I'm really grateful that I made this decision to leave Vietnam at 16. I still remember my dad said that, well, I can support you and you can study overseas, but maybe after you finish university, which is maybe about 23, 24 in Vietnam, we do 5 years of university, no matter what you do. And now looking back, because I came to Australia at such a young age, by the age of 23, I was already partner of an accounting and financial planning firm. Yeah.
Amazing. And there was no thought to go back to Vietnam. Is that where you were leading to?
Yeah, I love my country. Vietnam is always my country, and my family's a lot of my family's and friends still there. I want to go back there to help people migrate to Australia, because it's such a wonderful country and it's a welcoming country. And people who come over here, I truly believe that people that have something to contribute to this wonderful country, have something to share and create this wonderful culture that we have here. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. With my company Prosper Global Advisory, that helping people migrating, investing and starting business in Australia, mainly helping Vietnamese people. I definitely want to go back to my country, but mainly just for a visit. Yeah.
Have you been back since you're 16?
Yes, I have. So when I have time off study, I go back to Vietnam. I still remember there's a period of time I did not go back for a long time because of study, because of work, and mainly because I was really broke. I was working 2 jobs and studying full time. trying to set up my life and try to be independent. So yeah, that was really hard. Miss my family so very much. But thanks to FaceTime and video calls, I still have really strong connection with all my siblings in Vietnam and my families over there. Yeah, and
let's just one thing. So this resilience within you that started at such a young age, being able to improvise, adapt, and overcome. So when you get knocked down, you get back up again, because that's what you do. You've done it so many times. How did you prove to your dad that you could come to Australia at 16 years of age?
Very good question. So I was really surprised that 2 days ago, just 2 days ago, I did a video call with my grandfather, and I grew up with him. And he mentioned that about the exactly what I did to prove to my dad that I can look after myself at 16, to travel to another continent. He said to me, I still can't forget that you moved out of your own home with my parents, my sisters, my grandparents, full house, basically a full house, a family, loving family, out on my own in a empty apartment across the city, living there by myself for a month. And it was not easy at all, but I'm grateful that I did that. And I don't know what strength, or where's the strength coming from, that I just asked my dad. Like I did not, at 16 you don't know much, so I just asked my dad. I asked dad, can I do something to prove to you that I can look after myself? And I tried to brainstorm with him. So where can I live, like out of home? And my dad's happened to have friends that have an empty apartment. So then, am I moving in there? And I was there by myself for a month, and still going to school, and just life was very different. I was really lonely back there because it's such a sudden difference, but it was really good preparation for me to move to Australia and living in a completely new, different culture, family, and environment.
Yeah, cool. And then when you came to Australia, you then can finish year 11 and 12 in Australia, in Sydney or Melbourne?
I was actually living in Geelong, so
In Geelong, sorry, yeah.
down south of Melbourne.
Yeah. And when you finished school, then you went on to university?
Yes, I did. So I stayed in Geelong and went on to university. And in my second year, I started working in the first year just part-time, and in the second year I actually started an accounting position, and that's when my official career launched and started. And a few years later, I did become the part owner of the company.
And then that was a very successful company, and then you sold out that from a great profit and moved to Melbourne only 18 months ago. Is that correct? Or 2 years ago?
Yeah, I moved out. I sold the business last year, and I moved to Melbourne 12 months ago. Yeah, 12 months ago. And that's another, moving to Melbourne was big things for me, because I was in Geelong for, I think, 10 years. Yeah, 10 years. And our business, we run with the accounting firm. We have clients all around different states of Australia, but we fly to different states. We have staff in Philippines.
When COVID lifts.
Hey?
When COVID lifts.
I know. But moving to Melbourne was another big things that I decided to do, and that was really good decision.
And all of this with only until very recently, with no family over here at all. This is you on your own with friends. Like, I don't know, I've always had the safety net of my family always close to me. like geographically, and I've traveled abroad, but I've always come home. For me to be stepping right out on my own with nobody else but my own wits, really, that just takes pure resilience. And it hasn't been, it has not been an easy road, but it's been worth it, hasn't it? Because where you are now, currently, is a good place.
Absolutely. I mean, my family's my dad and my mom are still in Vietnam, and they came for visit for the first time. My whole family, including my siblings, just before the COVID hit, for Christmas.
Yep.
So that was very, very first time the whole family actually reunioned in Melbourne, because mostly I would travel back to Vietnam to visit them, usually once a year. I always think, maybe, I don't know what helped me, but I think it's a lot of combination of things. For me, I always believe that if you want something, you have to go in and just make it happen. You just need to work it. And I think my mum also influenced me a lot in terms of the discipline, the work ethics. Say, when you start something, you should finish it. And once you start something, then you should really get it done to the standard that you're proud of. So that's what just a simple principles that I've been applying consistently with my study, with my work, and looking to contribute, looking to help others. I think that's took me very far, because and just participate. I know that even though my blood families are still in Vietnam, and now I have my two sisters here with me, which is very recently that we actually living together and having a community, company, and family together, which I'm really grateful, and it's truly wonderful. But I learned to make family in Australia, because I realized that as human beings, we all want to connect with each other, and if we let go of ourselves, we let go of the ego, the difference, the minor difference in language or culture, and just really connect, then wonderful things happen. Like, I can be really proud to say that I have an Aussie family now. I have an Aussie parents who I lived with for I've known for 11 years, and I stay with them. Actually, they was the one I moved into their house just 3 days, a couple of days before I turned 17. And think about it, like up until the point when I came to Australia, I always lived with my family. And like I said, my families are wonderful and all protective and loving. But up until then, I moved to an Australian family. I moved into the house on Tuesday, and my birthday was on Sunday, and they immediately throw me a surprise party. And my room was filled with balloon, and just wonderful things happen when I allowed myself to love people the way I want to be loved, and let them treat me nicely, so that I can treat them nice back. So it just it's just wonderful when things happen. And I really want to share with you this. I've been listening and reading this book called The Surrender Experiment by the spiritual teacher Michael Singer, and it's about most of the time we're listening to the voice in our head saying, I want this, I don't want that, I want to do this, I don't want to do that, or this is too hard, I can't be bothered. But if you really let life lead you to where you meant to be, then wonderful things happen. Like I let myself just give it a try to go to Australia, and now I have two families. And I could not imagine my life without my Australian family, and they've been a huge support for me to achieve what I want to achieve.
Absolutely. So being such an ambitious, driven woman, how do you deal? I know you touched on this. Well, you actually deeply dived into it in your chapter in the book. You talked about your model of happiness and your old model of happiness. Being such a driven woman, I know that in the past you've always. Well, I'll let you explain it, because I know how ambitious you are. I know what you've achieved, and it is truly phenomenal. You're only 27. Do you know, like at 27, I was not as organized and as headstrong, and I had not achieved what you've achieved. So tell me about what you've worked out, especially with your mindset coaching now, because where you are now in a mindset space is like, it's truly phenomenal. You are grounded, you are resilient, and you are well adjusted. And that is everything that I teach, speak, ooze. So tell me now about your happiness model and where you were and where you are now.
Yeah, I really hope that a lot of people are listening to this, and it is a very important message that I'm very grateful that I've discovered at such a young age. So when I was growing up, I always believed that happiness is the ultimate thing. Like I said, I wear pink, and I believe in happy ending movies and fairy tale stories, and in a way it's really helped me to have the positive outlook in life, because sometimes you really need it to get through stuff. But I really want to say is that I used to believe that happiness is the ultimate thing that you should pursue, and as long as you have money, or as long as you have happiness, doesn't matter how much money you have, you be fine. You feel good, you feel happy, then you're good. But then when I turned 23 with a company, with an growing accounting company, and I've got house and investments, and supporting my sister doing studying at university, and I was doing really well and in good relationship.
You were really financial at that pace. I'm going to say it for you because you're not going to say it yourself. You were seriously financial at 23, 24 years of age.
Yeah.
You're like a lot more financial than most 23 or 24-year-olds. In fact, more financial than most 40-year-olds. Keep going.
And I'm grateful for my dad, my family support as well. So at that time, I still find something that missing inside of me. And you know what? The funny thing was, I thought that I needed a husband. I thought I needed a husband to complete my life. And I know that a lot of young girl out there can relate to this, and they think that when I find my soulmate, my life will be complete. Or when I built my dream home, my life will be amazing, and we will live in that house and we'll be happy forever after. But I was living in that home by myself, 3 bedrooms in a really beautiful suburb, driving a sport car that I love. And I mean, there's this, I don't know what else can I do. Like if I go in out there and just buy more houses or buy more cars, I don't think that would fill my cup. And then I went on a really long journey to discover what is called fulfillment. And most people really people don't really understand between happiness and fulfillment. And I love this is what you teach, and you actually teach children such a young age to have this understanding deep within them. And I just can't imagine the power that those little children can bring to the world once they go through your program that you train. So the difference between happiness and fulfillment is that happiness is something that you can achieve right now. It's a state of mind that if you tune into gratitude, if you're grateful for what you have, and if you in peace within yourself, you can feel happiness. There's no reason why you can't, you're not happy, because most people are just having this when I having this, then I'll be happy. And they living in that for so long, they don't realize, they really don't realize. They feel that that's normal, and they feel that everyone else is like that. But the sad thing is that so many people doing that we like that, people think that's normal, but it's not. The fact is that happiness is you choose to be happy, but fulfillment is something that you need to work on for life. And that is why life is worth living, because once you have happiness, once you're happy with who you are, once you feel whole and you're grateful for what you've got, you know what, to be honest with you, with COVID-19 happen, it's challenging, yes, but it's just giving us the opportunity to tune in more into gratitude and really appreciate on the really normal thing that we having every day. But you don't recognize that it's special. You don't recognize that it's wonderful. So the more you appreciate for what you have, the more happiness and the more, I would call, wealthy you feel. And so that's really, you don't need that much to feel happy. But fulfillment is a different story. Fulfillment is doing what you're doing now, Sally, writing that book to share your story, to help people, and with your program that you helping kids with their mindset, and everything start with mindset. So it's priceless. And contribution to others, that's how you find the level of fulfillment in your life, and you feel that you're part of something beyond yourself, something much, much bigger than yourself, than just me. It's all about me, and it's all about how other people make me feel happy. But people don't realize the power they have within them, that they are the one that can make them feel happy, and they have the power to help other people too. And that's when they can truly find happiness in life, happiness and fulfillment in life.
Absolutely. Anna, I could listen to you talk all day. You are brilliant, because you know what you're talking about, because you've lived it, and because you're so self-aware that you have this, when you're off track, don't you? And you catch yourself and you make sure. And one of the things there too that I love when you were saying, and I have, if you take your eyes off yourself and look at the bigger picture, that brings true fulfillment, doesn't it? Yeah. And so your mindset coaching, my gosh, imagine being coached by you to sort out your mindset. Like, honestly, from a girl I read in your chapter, when you were in high school in Vietnam, you would walk down the corridors and as if you were a ghost. Nobody noticed you. You were like invisible. Well, that's what you thought. To now, only a decade on, and like you're literally radiating and shining. What personal growth and development you have done to yourself is like truly phenomenal. It is truly phenomenal. And it's a credit to you.
Thank you.
It's an absolute credit, because so many people, Anna, at this age don't even know or understand the half of what you know and understand and apply to your life.
Well, thank you. First of all, thank you so much. And I owe a lot to my just people around me. I would not say that I am self-made or anything with my success. I have a lot of people that helping me along the way, and that's the reason why I want to reach out to those young people, young female, young university student, people who listening to this and resonate to this. I just really want to help them with to see their power within themselves, and to see there are more out there than what they experience now. Because at the time when I was feeling invisible and in the deepest loneliness of my life, when I was just before I came to Australia, um, I made the decision, the decision that the outcome is unknown. And now I discovered, and over the time I've learned so much from different mentors, and through experience and their experience as well. And I know that I can help a lot of people. So that's why I started my mindset coaching program with my Annalie International brand, with the really goal of really giving back. You know, my background is accounting and economics and property. So that's what I live and breathe. But for me, coaching is really something that I truly deeply love, and it's something that it's, you know, the feeling that I cannot buy with money.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, you know, so talking about uncertainty, you are you know what it's like to walk into uncertain waters. A lot of Australians right now, with this uncertainty that's been going on with COVID-19, a lot of us have never experienced uncertainty. A lot of us like to stay within our comfort zone, running that happiness model of when I get this, then I'll be happy, and not truly stepping out and working out what it is they can do in their life to be fulfilled. And as a result, there are a lot of unhappy people, because that is the worst model for happiness. And so even just if half the people could follow your lead, it would make a big difference to society. It truly would. Your work ethic, your vulnerability, because somebody that achieves as much as you do, to step outside of yourself and show your vulnerability, that's a tricky thing to do, especially when you've been hurt years ago when people didn't notice you at 16 years of age. To step out now, and because when you get out of the way of your own self, there's no glass ceilings. Like, it is truly limitless what you can do. So, Annalie, thank you so much for coming and joining. Is there any last things you're wanting to cover before we wrap it up?
I just want to say thank you so much for having me here. And it's truly wonderful to share this valuable content and lessons, and something that's really worthwhile, that I truly believe that can help a lot of people. I think the final word I would say, I just want to say, is that let's pursue a life with fulfillment and not just happiness, because you know what, the fact that we are actually existing in this tiny planet Earth, in you know, the vast galaxy, it's the wonderful, the beautiful things in itself already. The fact that we are living, breathing, and being, existing here, that's wonderful in itself already. So find fulfillment in life. And you know, happiness comes when it's come from within, and experience different emotion. I know that there are a lot of people out there with COVID-19, they're really suffering, and it's really tough right now. I just want to say to those people that this time shall pass, and experience different emotion in life other than just happiness is also important. And it's also something that for them, it's not happening through them, it's happening for them, just like the dark time that I experienced, so that I can have the time that I can step outside of the darkness now. So just believe that life have something, the universe have something that prepare for them on the other side, if they just keep going and get through this.
Good advice, really good advice. You are so beyond your years, Annalie. I really, really appreciate it. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. See you.
I'll see you.